Today we're gonna talk about movie adaptations of video games. Those are great. Super Mario Bros. 1993, that's a Mamma Mia movie. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. I remember her taking a shower in that film. And don't even get me started about the excitement I felt in my bones when I saw Sub-Zero show up in the Mortal Kombat movies. That guy can turn you into ice! But today we're going to talk about a movie adaptation of a game very near and dear to my heart, which I have covered in the past on this channel, Jake's Booty Call. It is an interactive flash game series from the year 1999 where you play as this very charming stud named Jake and you try to doink girls, boink 'em. It was created by Julian Max Metter, who also voices Jake, for Eric Eisner's website romp.com. And in 2003, they got a budget of $50K to produce a Booty Call full-feature film, the first ever to be animated in Macromedia Flash. Yeah, this was created before Adobe was even a guy. It was both of their first and last time writing and directing a feature film. So let's find out why. The movie starts in Hollywood, California, and you get to experience Jake's point of view in this cool one-shot sequence where you really feel like you're Jake, with hot girls coming up to you going like, "Hey, what's up, Jake?
Nice to see you, Jake."
What up, Jake?
That's Skippy! And very quickly, Jake finds his first two victims.
Hey, ladies.
And he approaches them with a riddle, like a weird pest goblin would.
I'm looking for a couple of new freaks to join my stable. You girls are looking tight. Are you willing and able?
The blonde loves it, but her brunette friend is like,
"No, I don't date players."
Perfect. I didn't want you anyway.
And so Jake has to find a wingman, which is where we're introduced to Sitan Manaba.
What is your name? Oh,
You idiot!
And he's a great little freak.
oh, she is right. I am an idiot.
You see those two honeys over there? I have to bone the blonde. Her friend? That's where you come in.
The one thing I do love about this movie is Jake's line delivery. They're just always so long and drawn out. I love it.
Yodely ow how how hey hee hoo.
And so all four of them go back to Jake's place, and Jake is making his moves.
You know I had a dream about you last night?
You did? What happened?
I straight busted in my jammies.
Wow.
So in classic bad movie fashion, there's a scene that's way too long and way too early in the movie, just like in The Room, and I can't show it because I'll simply get too aroused. But meanwhile, you wouldn't believe what this dweeb Satan has been doing.
You, too sexy for... just too damn sexy.
The brunette is somehow not into this sexy, so they leave. And we're introduced to our bad guys for the first time. And when I saw this, I was so worried. I called up my dad. I was like, "Jake's in trouble!" And he told me it's just a movie. And he started talking to me about his will. I don't know why he keeps doing that. So basically, this is the plot. This gray guy, Sitan Manaba,
I don't sit on anybody's knob, bro.
is soon gonna become the king of his country, Bengasloid.
I try to bang Sloids every day.
And he wants to lose his virginity before he goes back home and becomes king.
And
And I need to get laid first.
I guess that's enough justification for an entire movie. He just needs to. Jake tells him he should go to Vegas, and Sitan is like,
I should have just taken my plane there.
which Jake reacts to perfectly with this coughing animation. He wants to learn from Jake what his tricks are with the girls, and Jake explains it perfectly.
How do you do it?
I just put out the shawarma, and girls respond.
Yeah, I understand that.
Welcome to the game, my friend.
Yes!
So they decide to fly out to Las Vegas, but not before Jake starts off his Jake signal, which calls all the girls around town into the airport so they can join him on a plane. It's a very strange sequence. And I like it here how they didn't want to spend money on animation. So they just zoom in, zoom out, they're gone. And that's what I call cost-efficient animation.
Quick, turn around! But what about our dates?
Huh? What'd you say? Huh? The sound mixing in this movie, no good. And we see the bad guys again. I wanted to call my dad for help, but I didn't this time. And now we get to see King Slavan Manavan, Sitan's dad. He does a speech about his son going to take his place. And his twin brother, who was born after him, is very angry about it.
You must accept your destiny.
I might have to accept it, but I don't have to like it.
Kids, I need a stress release. Blood.
I need a stress release. Someone wrote that down in a script. And then nodded happily. Yeah, now that's some tunes. A lot of the music in this movie is also made by will.i.am of Black Eyed Peas fame, which is very epic, I think. I'd like to imagine will.i.am sitting down Fergie and forcing her to watch this movie.
Yo.
So now we're on a plane. Jake tries and hit on some girls. He fails.
Dude, did you just eat
And Sitan thinks he's great. He's like, wow, you do not even care if girl thinks you are predator.
You will hit on any girl, and you never get down if a girl doesn't want you.
And so some girl is looking at Jake. He goes up to talk to her. Sitan also tries hitting on some girl. Doesn't work out.
Whatever, nerd.
Huh?
And we see Sitan's younger brother talk to the bad guys. And he's like,
I deserve the crown. It is mine.
It is my destiny to become king.
and we get to Vegas to a club. And there's this funny dance. I hope I can show that. And in the club, not much happens. Jake talks to some girls. He gets a bones them. Sitan talks to some stripper and also bones her.
When do we get to do this? I had with that girl.
Nice! You did it!
I guess he did it?
I made love to her hand real good.
Nah.
Oh, never mind. He just doesn't know what is.
We've all been played before. Just don't let it happen again.
Thanks, Jake. I feel a little better.
I don't think he was played, but that was a very touching scene. And so they get to another club, and this movie is mostly establishing shots and will.i.am tunes bopping. And Jake activates his guys, and just like in the movie Doom, where you get to finally see some first-person shooting, we get a homage to the original games with Jake selecting a way to hit on these girls. It's masterfully done. They go talk to some rapper and his friend
My new CD when
it's really bad stuff.
CDs triple platinum coated nuts. Biatch.
And the first assassination attempt goes bad. The rapper gets shot, but luckily he has bulletproof clothing. So he decides to shoot up the entire place.
Security!
But even during a mass shooting, you can count on Jake to smooth talk his way into getting some fleeing girls onto his yacht.
Yo, girls, you ever been on a private yacht before?
Let's get this party started.
And he does, it works perfectly, from mass shooting to pool party in seconds. Jake successfully has intercourse with a lady and Sitan fails.
Yo, girl. What the dildo?
So he tries cheering him up.
You don't need to copy me. Just be yourself.
But what if she doesn't like me?
Argaby shargaby.
Huh? What? Can you repeat that?
Argaby shargaby.
Argabisha. Argabe? Can anyone explain that to me? Then the bad guys shoot their yacht with a torpedo. And so they're swept onto shore, and this whole sequence is so messed up. This guy shows up, he's like, guys, there's a cool party going on, let's wait for the bus. But there's one rule, you can't sleep with Marilyn.
Who's Marilyn? Marilyn is the fruit of every man's temptation.
And the imagery here is just so psychedelic and nuts. Look at this. A turtle playing on a tambourine, a bus, a jumpy frog. The bus even turns into a different transportation vehicle, a spaceship. How do they come up with this stuff? There's an island with a bunch of dead musicians on it. All men, by the way, first background with men. There's Tupac, there's Nirvana. Who the f*** what? Who's this? And eventually Jake finds the woman he's not supposed to sleep with, and he sleeps with her. And she turns into a monster, and they chase them down, they chase everyone. They chase him so far and wide, they run up the stairs to heaven.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, ladies, but we're not quite ready for this. Get at me later. See ya.
And so they land back into their bodies on shore with some of the best sound effects I've ever heard. A guy tells them they're in Jamaica, and immediately they're back on their plane and they plan on going to Tokyo.
Let's roll to Tokyo.
Sitan's little brother is upset at the henchmen for not killing him, and so the henchmen call the Yakuza for some help.
To find him and detain him. I'm on my way.
Done. Ume tubaraku, udo tachi na, yati moratai, shikoto go arunda.
Anyway, there's this whole dumb scene in Tokyo. Let's just say it ends with them exiting an establishment called Happy Ending Massage, which is a little on the nose, but also this happened.
Godzilla!
So my expectations aren't very high. They get invited to some club by one of the Yakuza members, all a part of their great scheme. And this club looks incredible. There's lights, there's music, there's an indoor ski slope where the skiers just kinda smash into the back of the stage. So the Yakuzas initiate their plan, which is not good. They just get two hot girls to dance with them, and then they show up and they're like,
Those ladies happen to be with me.
which is something that would have happened in a club anyway. Doesn't seem like it even matters that they are the Yakuza. But either way, there's some fighty actions, they do some big old punches, they're really psyched about it, and they decide to go
Going
to Brazil.
That girl's ass is so tight, it could chew gum as she walks.
And blow bubbles.
Jesus, come on, Sitan, you're better than this. They very swiftly hit on these two Brazilian girls.
Oh, I'm a missionary.
That's noble. What exactly is your mission?
I'm trying to get as many girls in the missionary position as I possibly can.
You guys are funny.
Now that's probably one of the worst jokes, right? We can all agree on that. How can you as a writer write a bad joke and then have the hot character go like, dang, that's actually a good joke, actually. They invite him to some show, and we see Sitan's little brother. He's so f***ing mad at the henchmen not getting him.
This cannot be happening.
So he's like,
I'm coming to Brazil. I'll take care of it myself.
but he also calls the Bangasloid army and says that Sitan has been kidnapped. Which I don't know why he would do that. He is the one trying to commit the crime. Regardless, it happens. And now the boys are at the music festival. This music festival rocks. Listen to this f***ing tune. Just the kind of music I assume these girls would love. Now Jake and Sitan have to try and get backstage at the music festival. How will they do it?
Pass? What, a whole pass? What is this, elementary skill? We're in the band, man!
Turns out doing a British accent and saying you're in a band doesn't work, but luckily the girls are there to save the
I
day.
got their passes right here.
Now who's catching the vapors? Straight off D's.
A lot of these nuts jokes in this movie, which maybe it means it's ahead of its time, or maybe the present is in the past of our time. The guys chat up with the girls and they love him. Sitan takes his gal and they go make love. But oh no, the bad guys, they found him. And by him, I mean Jake.
I give you direct orders to kill Jake.
So there are suddenly attack planes all over. and Jake says his final words to his precious Brazilian babe.
Girl, you and me fit together like two balls in a nutsack.
And they just start blasting. At first it doesn't seem like people mind, really, but then they do start running in terror for their lives, which is good. Jake bumps into the henchman and there's a sick fight.
This one comes from the street.
And so Jake defeats the henchman. Meanwhile, Satan
Come on. Where are you, Jake?
and his creepo brother is there to fight to the death, I guess.
I should have been born first.
Thank God you guys are here. No, Satan, those guys tried to kill me.
What? What'd you say, huh?
Give me the kingdom. You will have to kill me first.
Now this is the pinnacle of the movie. This is an action scene, it looks decent, but the voice acting is tough.
I can't believe you're doing this.
And the music is truly some of the worst music I've heard. And I'm just gonna have to play this sequence in full, cause the music here made me furious.
I cannot believe you would deceive the family like this. Please, brother. I was only kidding. You are not even worth it.
Someone just opened up Fruity Loops and went insane, using the worst sounding virtual instruments I've ever heard, just going Is it a joke? I don't know. Anyway, Jake has some final words to Satan's little bro.
You're done. You're done. Run along, little dun.
Run along, little dun. Run along, little dun.
A lot of words, actually. Too many words. And then he has a talk with Satan, which I will speed up, and it'll still sound like they're speaking slowly.
So what happened with Celia? You got laid. I got laid. You big pimp. I knew you could do it. How was she? Let's just say she got the limo.
And so the movie ends in Bangasloid. We see the traitors get their punishment.
Off with their heads!
Now you think they're gonna cut off their heads, but no, they're cutting off the tips of their penises.
No more for them.
And the dad laughs at his son being like mutilated. Bangasloid is such a backwards country. I'd never live in a place where mutilation of child penises is... Anyway, he's the king now, everyone celebrates, and his first decree is...
First order of duty.
Once again, it's on.
And the movie ends. It has some where are they now kind of thing, where Jake is living the Andrew Tate dreams, using his diplomatic immunity to pimp girls across the globe. But what's up with our creators now? Well, Eric Eisner has a production company named Double E Pictures, and he's the director of a football club, which is owned by his dad's private investment company. Okay, that explains it. He's fine. He's gonna be fine forever. But what about Julian, the man whose Jake character is supposedly based off of? Well, I don't know. I can't really find much. His IMDb doesn't feature many projects. And most of his online presence is his Twitter, where he posts a ton of DJ sets. Now, how do I know this is the actual Jake? Just listen to him.
DJ Daddy Jake Quarantine Radio. DJ Daddy Jake Quarantine Radio. DJ Daddy Jake Quarantine Radio.
That's Jake. This is my boy Jake. My guess is that COVID started and then he just wanted to find a thing to do. And I find it very heartwarming and wholesome. Both Eric and Jay never wrote anything again, but they still do follow one another on Twitter. And what more can you want from a friendship? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to check out my other videos regarding Jake's booty call. They're fun. Support me on Patreon if you can afford it. Listen to my music. Purchase my art. Follow me on Twitch as I plan on streaming there, I hope. And I'm gonna go hit on a girl.
Wow.